If you're tired of being a masculine woman and want to make the shift from being in your masculine energy to dripping in your feminine energy and you don't know what to do, then you, my darling, need to watch this video till the very end. Take out your pen and paper. We're going to learn A to Z of embracing and thriving in your feminine energy. The first thing, my darling, you need to realize is the basic difference in feminine and masculine energy is feminine energy knows how to receive and masculine energy knows how to give or do things. If you're constantly the person who's doing things and giving things, then you're never really learning or teaching yourself to thrive in your feminine energy. So you might ask me, so what should I do? Learn to receive. I've seen women across all sectors of life just not being able to receive because they think it's some sort of a guilt feeling they have if they receive something. You being a woman and being able to receive is nurturing your feminine energy. If you want to transform from masculine energy to feminine energy, you need to learn how to get things. If somebody's offering you help, I will tell you to take the help without feeling guilty. In return, you do not have to do something 10 times more for the person. All you need to do is smile and say thank you and be grateful. That is how you need to train yourself so that you remain in your feminine energy when somebody is trying to help you. If you're in your masculine energy, then you're constantly doing and never letting anybody help you, or even if you do, you're constantly guilt-tripping yourself, which is completely ruining your feminine energy. My darling, the second thing you need to realize is you have to stop always doing and start embrace being in the moment. If you are in your masculine energy, then you have a tendency to constantly do something, constantly rush in tasks, constantly focus on things, what you have to do, finish that, move on to that. But if you want to be in your feminine energy, you need to realize, you have to train yourself and tell yourself sometimes, it's okay to be in the moment. I don't always have to rush on completing tasks or trying to figure out what I do need to do next. Sometimes I just need to be in the moment. It might seem weird. So what's the use of being in the moment? Why is it connected to my feminine energy? Because feminine energy flows like a river. It doesn't constantly try to do this and that and this and that. That is always taking control of things. That is a trait of masculine energy. Learning to let go when it's needed and being in the moment is one thing that will teach you patience. And patience is a big quality in feminine energy. Train yourself. Every single point I'm telling you have to force yourself to start doing. Because if when you are constantly in your masculine energy, it will be difficult for you to stop taking control all the time, or even being in the moment will feel weird. You'll feel guilty, but trust me, it's okay. It is okay to nurture your feminine energy, and this way you will learn when to balance it and how to balance it and when to shift from one energy to the other. Something I often see among women who are constantly in their masculine energy is they never connect with their emotions. It's almost like they never really know what they feel because they only care about what needs to be done. And that is something you will see among men, because that is what they do. They usually never care about their emotions, but more about how to make the outcome and how to give the solution. And if you as a woman are constantly in your masculine energy, a lot of the times you're disconnected from your emotions. That is when you become irritable. That is when you don't know who you are. You're constantly questioning yourself. I'm achieving my targets, but why am I not happy from within? It's because you don't know your emotions and you're not connected to them. Start shadow journaling. This is something that changed my life. If you are a beginner, you're asking me, how do I start it? It looks complex. What to do? Then I have the solution for you, my darling. I've created a 30-day in-depth shadow journaling guide for women specifically, from going from wounded energy to being and dripping in their feminine energy. It is in the link in my Instagram if you want to check it out. I'll try to have a link here as well on YouTube so you can directly go there and see it and get it for yourself. When you start doing things like shadow journaling, learning about yourself, asking yourself the deep questions, you start connecting to your emotions, and in turn, you shift from being disconnected and being in your masculine energy to being connected to your emotions and nurturing your feminine energy. If you think you can shift from your masculine energy to your feminine energy without putting in any work on yourself, then that is a myth you need to burst today. You have to create and cultivate a self-care ritual for yourself. A feminine woman knows when she needs to take care of herself, but a woman who's constantly in her masculine energy is so overburdened with what to do next and what tasks to achieve and what practical solutions to find, she forgets herself. So you need to do one thing, is take care of yourself. Do the yoga, go for the fitness class, go for the walk, have that nice tea in the morning, go for the spa that you always wanted to but never could make the time because you were too busy doing other tasks. Make yourself your priority. The moment you prioritize your self-care, that can be in different aspects, it can be different to each individual woman, but when you prioritize that, you nurture your feminine energy, and in turn you bring joy to the child you once were, and that is when you will switch from your masculine to your feminine energy. If you want to know one of the easiest ways of shifting from your masculine energy to your feminine energy, that is by indulging in creative activities. Have you ever seen a woman dance like nobody else is watching? And you question, how does she have that confidence? It is because she is thriving in her feminine energy. Start activities like painting, dancing, singing, connecting to the nature like gardening. Once you engage in creative pursuits like this, you are giving signals to your subconscious and to yourself in your mind and your body that you are nurturing your child in your heart, the childlike person you were. And that helps you nurture and shift in your feminine energy. Feminine energy is rooted in Mother Nature as well as creativity. It flows like a river. So when you do creative things, it blossoms and you feel more connected to it. As harsh as it may seem, my darling, you need to have a community of people who truly accept you in your feminine energy. If you're constantly surrounded with people who force you to be in your masculine energy, sadly you will never be able to completely thrive in your feminine energy or even shift from your masculine energy to in your feminine energy. You might question, but Grandia, I'm constantly in a workplace where they force me to be masculine. That is understandable. In today's world, any workplace and every workplace is demanding women to act like men 24/7 and be in their masculine energy. And if a woman is in her feminine energy, she's mocked, she's looked down on, particularly in the corporate world. And I realize the need to show that you are good enough because you are good enough. And that is why you're being in your masculine energy. This is when I say beyond work, you need to have a community or people, even if it's one person, they need to accept you in your feminine energy. Particularly if you have a partner who's constantly making you feel small if you're in your feminine energy and you want to be in your feminine energy, then that is not the right partner to be with. Work people, colleagues are not your friends. Let's make it clear. That is when you may cross the line. Work colleagues are work colleagues. You leave the hello and bye as soon as you leave the work building or the work hours. So that is when their effect should end on you. So you should be in your feminine energy all the time, if not needed for work. So for that reason, your community beyond work should be accepting you in your feminine energy, and that is very important. You need to be ruthless of cutting out people who constantly force you to be a man even when you are a woman, and you should be in your feminine energy when you want to be. So learn and realize who are the ones you should be around and who you should not. And my darling, realize if you truly want to shift from your masculine to your feminine energy, you need to practice gratefulness, and you need to learn how to connect to your intuition. How do you do that? You simply do that by being thankful for even the smallest things that have happened to you. Trust me when I say, if you learn how to cultivate gratefulness inside you, you will see opportunities coming to you like no other, because you don't have expectations and you don't have disappointment. You just have gratefulness into you. And how does it help you shift from your masculine to feminine energy? It's simply when you thank yourself and the universe for all the people and things you have in life. You are giving universe a control of things and letting go. Gratefulness is a sign that you have enough abundance, and feminine energy flows and is filled with abundance. That is how these two things connect. So try being grateful even for the smallest things you have. The fact that we can walk, the fact that we can work, a lot of people can't in this world. So having the smallest of gratefulness for even the slightest of good things we have can change the way feminine energy flows in your body. And being intuitive, learning to feel your gut feeling is something that will change your life. If you want an in-depth video about that, let me know and I'll make it for you, my darling. So remember, be grateful and listen to your gut. With that, my darling, I come to the end of the video. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe, like and share my video, and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. See you next week, my darling. Take care.